Okay, so working on the notch. I'm gonna take this out, and that's gonna wrap up over the plywood base, and then we'll bring it into the top, or the pretty part of the top. We'll be coming to that. I should have set this up and showed it to you, but I got busy, was just rolling. I was getting stuff done, and I just plumb forgot, is what I'm saying. So what I'm gonna do is I'll come in and notch that out, and then run it back through the table saw, and we will have a notch to get our plywood up into. And then I'll sandwich it with a little piece of 1x or something, just to make sure that it doesn't fall back out of it and it stays firm. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. So we're gonna do it then. It's gonna be good, I think, maybe, potentially. Okay, so I need a 1/2 inch thick. The groove is a 1/2 inch from the outside edge, and it's down 5/8. So now I'm going to turn it and run it through the saw like this, and that means that I need to have the fence 5/8 away. Away. Real quick double check just to make sure. Just like that. There you go. Isn't that fancy? Fancy, fancy. Alright, I'm gonna do the other one real quick. Boom. There you go. Alright, on to the next step. That may be what holds that plywood in. I'll just nail it up in. One thing you'll notice, whenever you're using craptastic framing quality wood, that is not finished quality wood. Again, that's what I got. But one thing you'll notice when you're using this crap wood is that you'll get little pieces like that because, well, it's pretty low quality stuff. It's not finished quality. And some of y'all be like, well, that piece is ruined. And it probably is, unless you're backfilling and butting up against this. But yeah, this is some cheap junk. This is some low budget stuff. And was actually, this came out of 16-foot 2x6s that I bought almost 2 years ago, and have just been laying around. So, and they're framing quality, so they're good enough for who it's for. If I was doing this for anybody else, I'd want better lumber, but it's good enough for me. So there you go. Okay, now we're gonna start cutting this up so we can build our frame. Got my Ryobi. Yeah, got my Ryobi little 10-inch miter saw, and once again, it's ancient. I bought it used because, again, cheap and hard to justify expensive stuff for a hobby. Unless it's car stuff, and then completely justifiable. Yeah, so I'll get it set up. We'll miter the ends. I need it to be on the inside of the groove. I need it to be 18 inches square. So we'll miter it with the inside of this piece being 18 inches and bring it together. We'll square it up. I'll glue it, I'll nail it, and we'll have a box that we can drop a piece of plywood down into. So let's whittle some up, and then I'll probably just turn this off and finish it, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, when I'm nailing it together and junk. But yeah, here we go. just like when you're doing anything else. Don't rush anything. When you're using these saws, take your time, make a nice smooth cut, and it won't chew up your wood as much, and it won't bind and throw pieces of wood at your face, because I've done it in a hurry and stuff comes back at your grill if you're not careful. So yeah, but if you take your time, be gentle, be slow, you don't chew up your wood too bad. New blades are good too. Help with that. Okay, in theory, that should be 15 inches. Spin that around. We will cut outside the line, right on the outside edge of the line, because I can always come back and trim the saw blade off of it. But it's very hard to put a saw blade back on. So, yeah, here we go. There you go. And I'm gonna go make sure that it fits before I get too carried away. And then I'll do that 3 more times. And we'll see about assembly here in a sec. So I'll be back in a minute. Now we're cooking with some snow. How about that? Yeah. Now it warrants a snow day, I think. I mean, you know, the ground's turning white. It's good. It's good. Okay. We got our little boxes built. And drop our sheet of plywood down inside. And now we have our base. And we'll put the pretty stuff in here on top. And yeah, we'll have us a table eventually, as soon as I come up with legs. Still not sure what the legs are gonna look like. We'll figure it out. But plugging along, building crap, it makes me happy. Okay, so I welded me up a bunch of strips, like such. And then I'm just messing around trying to decide what I want it to look like. Right now, got it like that. That's a little piece of rebar, little 3/8 rebar. Wish I had some 1/2 inch, but I don't. I don't know that that's staying, but I'm thinking piece of rebar, a different direction for the wood, piece of rebar up here. I don't know. We'll see. I also have little chunks of granite that actually has some red in it, like the cedar that was on a fire pit table, and I'm half inclined to see if I can't figure out a place to stick that too. I don't know. I like using different stuff. I've got a table in the living room right now that's got concrete in it. It's wood, steel steel hardware, and then I poured concrete inside the table, and I mean, it looks kind of cool. It's industrial, which is kind of faded away and not as cool as it used to be, but I don't care. I think it still looks pretty cool. But I like using different materials. So we'll see. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. We're gonna keep plugging around on it and see what we end up with. You never know. You just never know. Ooh. You just never know what we're gonna end up with. So essentially, I'm going to duplicate this up here, I think is my goal, which means that I need drag the miter saw back over. Y'all having fun? All right, you're kind of seeing the process. I won't bother you with what the next probably 4 hours is gonna look like. So I'll keep plugging along, and once I figure it out, I'll bring you back and you can see it. It'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see in a bit. All right, it's almost 10:30 p.m. I think we've got about 4 inches of snow outside. I'm cold, tired, but how about that for a tabletop? It's got cedar, pine, rebar, and a piece of that granite all in one shot. How about that, eh? Yeah. All right. I like it. Now, I'm cold. I'm gonna go warm up. We're gonna come do some more tomorrow. Definitely come do some more tomorrow. Ah, I love taking nothing and turning it into something. Y'all have a good evening. Morning, y'all. It's day 2 of Snow Day 2022, and working on a table 2022, and now we got us a snow day. How about that? Look at that, isn't that pretty? All right, well, we're back in the shop. Let's get after it, see what we can do. There you go. Whoop. Ah. Whoops. So there you go. There's the big square, the diamond, or whatever you want to call it. And now I'm gonna cut up some rebar, and we'll get on to the next phase. Okay, now we've got the rebar in. See that? Fits all nice and tight. None of this is glued down yet or nailed down, so it's tight, holding all where it's supposed to be. So now for the next layer, which is pine. Ugh, what a mess. Is pine. We'll get that set. I'll get another piece of tile. We'll stick it in there. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be fantastic. It's still snowing, by the way. Just saying. Okay, we've got pine here, and we've got our piece of tile. We're gonna get in here. I need to notch those last pieces, so square it up. All right. There we go. Take the jigsaw and cut those little notches out. And we will have room for our piece of tile. Whoops. One thing you get living out here in the country-ish, somebody's out here rattling shots off. Fairly close, I can hear them. And nobody really panics because, well, it's not outside the norm to hear gunshots out here. Because, well, we out in the country. It's probably somebody out just target practicing because it's a snow day and they're bored. All else fails, give a little love tap. Just tap it in. To quote Happy Gilmore, just tap it in. Just give it a little tappity tap. Oh, how pretty. Look at that. Now, I need this right on. That's not thick enough. I need a little bit thicker. That's not thick enough. That's not thick enough. Ruh-roh. That is. Okay. So I need right there. I gotta make another piece. Hang on a minute. Okay, so just 45s meeting in the middle, and you got a triangle. And we are almost done with this part of it, other than taking it apart, sanding it, reassembling it for the last time, and then we'll be done. Messing it up, man, but there we go. Oof. I may recut those boards. Or it's just for me. I probably won't recut them. But there you go. One more just like it. Ish. I've got my gaps a little big up here, which is gonna annoy me. So I may recut this board. And yeah, it's all good. All right, we're gonna probably pause it here, and I'll build this piece of it, and then we'll start looking at what the legs are gonna look like. And then I will decide. I may get some epoxy and pour this on the top, just because they're end tables and there's gonna be stuff spilled on them, and that way I don't ruin my pretty cedar. Man, I'll tell you what, it just smells good in here. It just smells good. Hey, thanks for hanging out for this part, and we'll do some more here in a little bit. I think they're gonna be pretty when they're done, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, all right, see you in a bit.